Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, rules can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. And really, on this channel, I do look a lot of times at relationships, right? But I also look at what's going on with you, the patterns, the spiritual patterns that create your karma. I like to dive deep within the readings. Hey, Siska, you're back. So I was just saying for the newbies that landed on the channel that I like to dive deep within the reading. So I look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. But today we're going to look at the patterns that your person has. And we're also going to look at things that you do and obviously how to transmute the negative energy. A lot of people think that when we go through negative experiences, that those experiences are done and over, like when you forget about them, right? You move on to a new experience. Maybe you date someone new and you're in a good relationship. We don't realize a lot of times that we are still holding on to elements of that relationship because we all form habits and behaviorisms that are in alignment with the environment. So, if you are connected to someone that was like a narcissist, God forbid, or someone that continually manipulated or gaslight you, you would understand why a relationship is very difficult to have when you're just starting over. You can say, well, I was with that person 10 years ago. I was with that person 15 years ago. Hey, Diane. But the truth of the matter is that what happens is if you don't learn the spiritual lesson, those types of karmic themes, which is why we look at the karmic themes, continue to play out, which is what makes you perceive that you can't have the things that you want to manifest, whether that's abundance, financial abundance. Maybe you say, I don't even want to be rich. I just want to be able to pay my bills. Or I just want to be in a good relationship, a healthy relationship. But after the third or fourth or fifth time, when you're dating a person and you're getting the same exact thing, you can see why. But then understand you'll form habits and behaviorisms that are in alignment with not being open to receiving because you don't really believe that you're open to receiving. So remember, the key to manifesting is not just about saying affirmations. Affirmations, it's almost like you try and brainwash yourself. And when we know that we're brainwashing ourselves, it doesn't really work as well. We have to come from our truth. And the way that you can come from your truth always is to embody a new consciousness. So if you're in a place of fear and you need to get out of a place of fear, the best thing to do is try to do something that you love. I know that you say it's very difficult. It is difficult because we train ourselves. We condition ourselves to ruminate. And then in that rumination where the head chatter, we can't shut our mind off. See, I feel like you're connected to someone that has mind chatter right now. Really, it's again that. But you can have a tendency to do that too. So, like goes to like, you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. So, you might attract someone that doesn't have the same character as you, but has the same behaviorisms and habits as you do, or vice versa. So, we want to create balance. The universe brings us people, situations, and experiences into our life to create balance. And what does that mean? Well, from a spiritual perspective, it means that you're grounded and you're letting spirit lead you, that you don't just look at things from a logical and analytical and mental perception, but you also can see things from a spiritual and energetic perception. The spiritual perception we're all born with. We tend to be taught out of it through school and through the other structures of the physical world. Everyone has a system, and those systems takes you out of your free mind, the creative mind. But the spirit part of self is the deity part of self, which makes you supernatural. If you can imagine it, you can create it. So the best way to shift your energy is to really pull on that spiritual energy, and that's to embody the new consciousness. Otherwise, you don't transmute the negative energy. See, it's all about evolution. Otherwise, we will continue to keep living in that experience. Now, if you're new to my channel, know that all the readings are shadow healing, but I do like to look at everything because, there is that ego part of self that we want to know what that person is feeling now that we're in separation, or now that they screwed up the relationship, and what are they going to do about it? You may not even want to be with that person. It's irrelevant, but sometimes there's satisfaction in knowing. And people say, oh, well, that's not very healing. It kind of is healing to know that someone's getting their karma after they haven't treated you right. I'm sorry. Let's be real. And so we might be able to forgive a little bit easier and let go a lot faster if we understand the spiritual lesson. But it's their karma for that, to know that people are not accepting of their behavior. So, a lot of times we don't get that satisfaction. Hey, Handmade with Love. Michelle, I've been following you for a few weeks. Yes. Well, that's good. Okay. So if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on, the first and sometimes the second card. Sometimes if I need to go a little bit deeper, and that's only if I keep pulling the same card out. Sometimes the energy stays the same when you do readings every day, and it's like, okay, no, I need to go a little bit deeper. We need to see a different perception. But you only have to write the word of the video. I also want you guys to know that I have group coaching on Patreon, and I have different subscriptions for coaching if you guys are interested in that. I never mention it because I'm not really a salesperson. It's not what I like to do. However, I am going to be coming out with my Oracle system certification course, which is actually also a shadow healing course to take and helping people heal the effects of psychic trauma. Right now, there is a spiritual war happening, and it's a war on consciousness. And that's where, the world wants to show you who you are, but we're not supposed to listen to what people tell us that we are. The answers reside inside of us. When we say the higher self, I'm talking about that God part of self that connects us to each and every one of us. It's felt as empathy, sensitivity. So when we're in the vibration of unconditional love, which is our natural born God-given energy. And when I say God, I'm talking about the universe. It's ubiquitous. It works through us. Just like the universe is inside of you. Well, that's again, spirit is inside of you. So whether you want to call it chi, oxygen, Holy Spirit, it's the same thing. Spirit is ubiquitous. It's again, it works through every single person. That's why when the student is ready, the teacher appears, the universe sees everything. So when we're attracted to people that are on a low vibration, it's because on some level we need healing. And so without integrating that spiritual lesson, you detach from that element of self. By the way, we reject it. We create a mask. We want to make it appear to look better than it actually is. It's an overcompensation. It's a second chakra imbalance. When you see second chakra imbalance, that on the spiritual body, we're talking about the sacral chakra, and that represents your unique individuality, being able to go with the flow. It's a passion for life. It's also your emotional centers, and it's your relationship center. It's a passion, right? So you're always going to see an imbalance in your relationships when there's an imbalance in work. And that doesn't necessarily all the time mean that you're going to see a lack of money. Sometimes it's a lack of purpose within your work. Sometimes it's not, things are not done ethically. So you acquire the money, but you get it back karmically in another way, and usually eventually to your business too. So understand that spiritual laws are in order when you are a spiritual body. The physical world tends to ignore the spiritual elements, which is ridiculous because everything happens in the spiritual realm long before it happens in the physical realm. Spiritually means psychological and emotionally. That's what your spiritual blocks are. When we say blocked, we mean staying blocked in a limited perception about who you perceive you are and what you perceive is happening within your life and what you're deserving of. That's why we create the habits and the behaviorisms, to create the balance. So it's all about, again, becoming yourself, the true self, the higher self. So we're going to look at relationships, the patterns, but we're also going to look at the other things. All right, so let's see the word of the video. Let's see what it is. What is it? It's innovation, and then we're going to pull from the other deck. Because you've been manifesting for a while, I feel like you've been creating. Innovation is getting ideas. It means that you're in your creative energy. You're in the higher self. And the higher self is that God part of self. It's the creative genius. You don't have to be logically smart. It's more of an intuitive thing. And it's doing what you love. And when you do what you love and you're investing in what you love, like you're open to like other things that are in alignment with what you're doing, which gives you more ideas. It also allows you to meet other people, right? So when you're meeting other people, guess what? Your mind and your emotions are on what you're doing. Now, with a soulmate, karmic mate, what is the karmic cord? The karmic cord is your thoughts and your emotions. Again, that's what transcends time and space. We're only in physical form to learn and to manifest. So this person isn't feeling that cord. They need to feel that cord in order to feel safe, almost like within the relationship, even if they're not doing anything. It's like, as long as they could feel that your energy was still attached to them. It's like, I'll get around to it. I'll figure it out. And almost like this person wanted you to come back to them. Is like that. But you're not, because I believe that this takes you further away from that energy, the ego. Because again, you're in the higher self. When we're innovation, it's like we're in a creative mind. We're not even thinking about strategizing. Like where this person's like, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to take my time. They're thinking about it. They're ruminating on it. Remember I told you the head chatter? That's why. It's the looping where this person doesn't know how to shut themselves off. So they're going to wind up manifesting you back. Right, whether you want to or not. And you might be like, I'm not interested. I'm in different energy. Hostility. Yeah, it's like there. That's exactly what I felt. I felt like you were connected to someone that was starting to get hostile. And again, from like, because of all the anxiety that they're feeling. And I feel like they have that feeling mainly because of, how they treated you. You were kind of pushed into like, it wasn't that you weren't manifesting before, but it's like when you're not in a relationship, you wind up putting more energy into, what you do have going on in your life. And what you do have going on in your life is work. And so I feel like there's a lot of work that you do enjoy. And for some of you guys are in the creative field. That could mean influencer, it could mean artist, it could mean singer, it could mean entertainer, it could mean, where you get ideas. You get ideas, like I said, from being interactive with different people, with just being led to taking different things to make you better at what you're doing. So again, this person is like, again, now consumed, and they're consumed. And that's what I said, that with that head chatter, that's what I felt like. This person is consumed with you. And really, it's like they have no emotional space. They feel like it's almost like they're starting to feel the effects of it. But in order for this person to like feel balance, because part of this is that this person can't control you anymore. And I say that because we're seeing a lot of obsessive behavior. This is someone that would like needs to control you, and they're not really controlling their life. That's number one. Number two, it's like they need to release drama. Okay, they create drama in their life. So it's like their feelings of it being intense and overwhelming is what they usually do to put on other people. And so, again, because this person wanted you to be consumed with them, it's when you were dealing with them. And I feel that this person always has someone on the back burner. So it was always like you felt like you were like fighting for, but being put in this position where you had to like fight for this person's love. And you're like, I'm not gonna do that. It's like I'm not gonna, and they would create drama. And then they would sit there and pretend that they don't create drama. And so I feel like again, it was a little it was a little traumatizing for you that this person actually wanted you to like constrain. Like I said, they wanted to dominate you, where they wanted you to like give up too much of your power, where they might not say what the rules are, but by bringing someone else into the mix, you're going to be hypersensitive to what their needs are. You're going to become highly focused on what they're doing. They're creating that type of environment, and not just with you, but whoever they're connected to. So, you know, it feeds this person, and that's what's dangerous. It's like, because hey, if your energy is going towards this person, then it's not going towards yourself. And if there's abandonment of self, well, then this person is never going to stay with you, number one, because you abandon yourself. And when you abandon yourself, the number one spiritual law is you can't abandon yourself. It's like whatever you're doing, because when a person wants you to lower your boundaries, not have standards for yourself. And that's what they're doing by being connected to somebody else. That's what they're expecting. You're not allowed to have standards. Yeah, that's right. I'm allowed to date. And it sounds ridiculous. So they would never say it. But on a psychic level, you know exactly what's going on. That you're trying to constrain me. You want to give me rules, but you don't want to give me anything in return. That's an abusive relationship right there. Well, we know why they were inconsistent, because there was somebody else there, as I said. And that's going to give you, it's like they begin to train you. Okay, this is called intermittent manipulation. It's like what they do when they train a rat with a cheese, right? They ring a bell, the rat knows it's getting the cheese, and after a while they ring the bell and they don't get any cheese. And then maybe after the fourth time they ring the bell, they get the cheese. But now that rat is attentive every time they're showing up, just to make sure. And they can do whatever the hell that they want. And you don't know why your brain feels the way that it does. It's like, because this is what's going on. The inconsistency, the anxiety of that. So then that means I don't really want to have to pay attention to what's going on in your life. I don't want to have to show up for you. I don't want to have to be there for you. I might show up, but I'm always keeping you on your toes. So that's a relationship that's full of drama. And that's what this said. This person needs to release the drama. They need to release the drama. Because again, it's just about them putting you into submission, which we know that. We know that. Tell us something else. Deceiving. Okay, like this person like is always in a logical and analytical mind. So this was what it was like to be in a relationship with them. We don't need to go on any further. It's like what we need to know is what the hell type of relationship was this? What this person is going to do now? What was the reason why we attracted this person into our life? What are we supposed to do with the negative energy? Because we know that as long as we're in the energy of unconditional love, doing what we love, and we become the expression of love, that we're going to attract people into our life that we love. Understand only God can change your mind and your heart, and that's through you co-creating with the universe, because the universe is God, and it's going to bring you everything that you need to help you heal. So again, when someone makes you put more energy into them, or if you give more energy to someone else than yourself, you are breaking the number one spiritual law. It's abandonment of self, where God says, I live inside of you. You're not allowed to abandon yourself. It's you and me. We're co-creating. And this is where you want to put your energy. This doesn't work for me. This person's an asshole. Like, it's like, I don't like, it's like, this doesn't work for us. And you know that it doesn't work for us, but you're going to give a second chance. You're going to give a third chance. You're going to give. So that's why the karma happens worse to a person that winds up being connected to somebody that they cared about. And then it's like, I was good. I love this person. I didn't deserve that. They were the cheat. They should get the karmic consequences. Spirit says, there they are. They're racking up the karmic rewards points. Trust me. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. It's like a person like that has a real big ego. So it has to be something huge that makes them humble, that makes them surrender their ego. They're not just going to do it. So it seems like that person's getting away with it, but they're not getting away with it. I'm going to wait until they have something, whether that's a family and now they can't see their children, or the money. Again, certain money situation, like if they owned a business, you lost your business, you lost your house. There needs to be consequence, is what God says. Says that everybody gets their due. So understand you need to just, again, be in the energy of unconditional love. That's how you teach a person, because your life will get better. You will evolve out of that energy. It's never saying things, especially with this type of energy. That's why, because it's like this person knew exactly what they were doing. It's again, there's some people that like to believe that they're superior, and it's okay to be that way. And that's because other people let them get away with it. I'm tired of being away from you physically. I'm trying to process my fears so I can come back to you. So again, here it is with this person. Now you want to know whether or not they want to come back into your life. Well, it's again, whatever you did, you took your power back, your energy back, like I said. But the reason why was because of this. We started off where, hey, you're going to cut your energy off completely from this person. Well, they don't like that. So the problem with this is that this person truly is going to believe that they love you. They are truly going to believe that they do. But they don't really they don't love themselves. They don't know what love is. Love is dominant. Love is control. That's what this person has shown you. And they're not, for them to have somebody else and try and juggle you, well, that, to try and control you tells us a lot about who they are. Hey, Kamsi. Karmic ties. Past lives are influencing our connection. I've lost you in another lifetime, and that makes me afraid. I need to heal the grief to allow the love to bloom. So again, this is a past life karmic mate. That again, we already know that we live many, many lifetimes, because we wouldn't learn that we're separate from God, separate from the universe, separate. We would never see that. We live the same types of karmic lessons over and over and over and over. We don't learn. It's like we tend to attract the same types of people, do the same thing, think that it's going to be different. We try to change ourselves from the outside and not the inside. So I feel like, again, this person could be, again, a soulmate twin flame. They could be, if they would do what they needed to do, which is step up into the best version of themselves. But we see that they're in the lowest energy. And again, you left them. That's why they're panicking. So it doesn't even logically make sense, because a person like this would be like, I am going to logically control. I don't care whether you're in my life or not, especially after they treated you. They treat everybody like this. But because it's a past life karmic mate connection and you took your power back, that's why. Happy New Year, Sherry 12. Love like ours can change the world. See, it's again, now they're in this kind of, and I don't want to downplay it, but you have to understand the person isn't balanced at all. It's like no one goes from one extreme to another. It's like, yes, you made them do that. There is a soul connection. You took your power back, which makes this person overthink, ruminate, obsess, and obsess because maybe you're talking to somebody else. Maybe, and so this person is holding on to that, like that, you and them have this special connection. Well, you do have a special connection, but that doesn't mean that they can dishonor it. It's like, this is how we know that they're on a very low vibration, not just by what they do, the behaviorisms that they do, but actually, their thought process. Like, I can do whatever I want and it's still going to work out because, like, we really do love each other. But it's okay that I do this. Which it's like, no. You show up in my dreams. It helps me process buried memories, of course, because you're a past life karmic mate, which, again, they keep screwing up every single lifetime. So the universe is talking to them. Again, that God part of self does talk to ourselves, does talk to us. But if our mind is in the chatter all day long, it has to wait till we fall asleep to talk to us in our dreams. But then this person doesn't really understand everything because they're not very spiritually evolved, but you show up in their dreams. And I feel like they're like, again, I should be with you. It should work out. Why isn't it working out? It's like, well, look what you're doing. Like, almost like you should just put up with what they do. When we're talking, things just come out of my mouth, and afterwards, I'm not even sure why I say them. So it's, again, this person does not like to be transparent. But, when you have that soul connection and you're vibing, it's like they let go for a moment. And then when they let go, that's when they open up. But then, again, they remember that it's not safe to be open up, so they close back down. So what you're going to see is very sporadic energy, in, out, inconsistency, not just inconsistency where they're coming in and out of your life, but also their moods are going to be inconsistent because they're not balanced. So you're never really going to know what you get. This is, our inner guidance is clear, but our ego is resisting it. And that's what's happening here. So it's like this person it's all about control because they don't feel safe, but they form way too many behaviorisms. So that's what they're thinking in their minds. Are they going to actually come back? I mean, we want to know that. I mean, just because you should be prepared if they come back. But I would tell you that this person is not healed. They, in their mind, they're like, wow, like, we really have this connection, but they don't want to look at everything that they did. It's like and in order for you to even be able to participate in a connection like this, they would need to. They would need to talk about what they did and why they did it. They need to take responsibility because if they don't, it's a thing that they'll do it again. The disrespect. And I don't even know why you'd put yourself in that energy. Because again, if you're in this creation and you're in the highest energy and doors are going to open up for you, it's like, this person's like going to be a dead weight. It's like, even if they did do healing, they're still insecure. They still have to find themselves. And that's really what it is. It's like they have a lot there where you would have to, again, like, this person's again gonna, like they're gonna really try. Of course they're gonna really try, because again, they know that it's over and they know that your life is moving on. And again, this is a past life soulmate. They could have been a twin flame, but it's like they didn't step it up. So it's almost like this person is going to show their backbone. They're determined. I'm like a lion. I wish I could say that they weren't, but it's of course, is all that I'm going to say. It's like, because life is happening for you. Diligent, persistent, stamina. Ugh, like, they're going to try really hard. They're going to try really hard. And they want a new beginning. That's it. But this person is needy. And understand, it's almost like, again, they're needy. And it's almost like they have to go back to like child, like almost like a child. So I'm saying that because it's like this person wants a new beginning, and they want, and they're gonna show you consistency. That's the thing. It's like, because there is neediness, but they feel your purity. There's a warmth, and really they're showing vulnerability for the first time. It's like, I wish I could say that they don't want a new beginning, but they do. And it's like, and that they're going to really try hard, but of course it's over. And so, you know, I don't know. It's like, what are you going to do? It's like, I think that you got to see. And so we're going to pull a few cards, but understand it's a collective reading. And I'm also going to see whether this person can like, what we have to look out for if you do go into a connection with this person. Because you have free will. So I'm not going to, I told you that you shouldn't already, because, you know, this person has the power to bring down your energy, because they're not on the same vibration, which means you always have to lower your vibration in order to be with a person like that. They're not on your level. They haven't done the work. Wild at heart. Again, they will always have a desire for freedom. Okay. Like, always. It's like where you'll always kind of feel like it's unstable if you choose to be with this person. And again, almost like, you're going to have to like really like put down your boundaries, but in that, this person's going to feel stifled. They're going to feel like it's demanding and limited, because they're used to being able to do whatever they want. So it's not that they don't have feelings, not that they don't have feelings, not that they don't want this to work, but they're just not capable. It's like they have too much wounding from the past. And unless they were to do major shadow healing, and they would have to want to do it, you wouldn't really be able to change them in that part. But you have to understand that there's no relationship that wasn't supposed to happen. Now, you may say that was in divine order, that I get this person that was mean. Well, listen, it pushed you into, again, more into creation, where it's going to open doors for you. You cut your energy off. You're going to be meeting people. Life hasn't started yet. That was a karmic test. There's always a space between what you sow to what you reap. It doesn't happen right away. So Spirit's saying you always get the test. It's like, and it's to stay on that, you know, on your mission. And you can do that when you're focusing on what you're doing and what you're creating and doing what you love and connected to other people on a deep level, then that's when you're embodying the energy of unconditional love. And that is what protects you. So when people try and bring you down, or when people want to talk about you, whatever it is, it's like the proof is in the pudding, is what you're doing. So you're always safe. All those people that don't feel safe, feel that they need protection, the way that you are protected is by, again, creating yourself, creating, just period. So we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? What was the whole point? I mean, there's always a point, but we already know the one major thing that Spirit says. We look at your inner child wounds. Your inner child wounds are what are going to play out as karmic themes throughout every single relationship, every single experience. And that is what makes you develop the core belief. And the core belief is what makes you form the habit or the behavior or the persona, the illusion. And what we saw with that person was they had a lot of fragmentation. So we pull 6 inner child cards for you. First card out, I believe, is joy. No, it's hope. It's hope. And then lies and secrecy. Sing. Discipline. Guidance. And organized chaos. Well, I don't really feel as if you grew up within where there was so much trauma. I just feel like you didn't have guidance. The guidance that you actually had was your own intuitive guidance. So it was actually a gift of what to do. And that was to what I do feel, though, is that there was organized chaos just means that it wasn't, life at home wasn't perfect. I mean, there was a lot of maybe fighting with parents or an imbalance with one person in the house where they created a lot of drama, but everybody did what they needed to do. It was just extremely chaotic. But whatever was imbalance in the family, you can see it almost as lies and secrecy, right? That there was that a lie, something that you had to protect, something that was a big secret, something that obviously you did your parents or your family, whoever was in your family, wouldn't want to be exposed. And so that chaos, and it could be that somebody was an alcoholic. It could have been, again, somebody did a lot of drugs, and it just created a lot of turmoil in the house, like I said. But I feel like you had gifts growing up, and the gifts is that you always stayed hopeful. To me, I feel like that is just something that people either have or they don't. It's I just believe that that I believe that things will work out. I hope that things will work out. And I feel again, you were guided. You were guided by your own higher self. So you were very intuitive, and it's because, hey, with the organized chaos going on, you didn't really want to create more drama or anything else. So you were somebody that was very hypersensitive to the needs of what was going on in the environment. So you were I don't want to create that. So I'm not going to ask. I'm going to be my own guidance. And that led you to being able to really be more of a creative genius, live more from your intuition, because hey, it was crazy in the house. And so when it's crazy in the house, you're not going to sit there and say, oh, well, it's time to study, or it's time for me to master my craft. No, what you're going to do is intuitively be what do I need to get the hell out of here? Or I'm dealing with, teachers, and they're asking me questions, and I have to, hide the fact that my parent is an alcoholic, or I have to hide the fact of what's going on. But you say, what does that have to do with anything? Well, if you're hiding that, or if there was an environment where you were not comfortable to have your unique unfoldment process of finding yourself, like how children find themselves, and they find themselves by first playing maybe with a doll, and then they might say, well, I want a baby, and then that winds up in saying, no, like, now I don't actually want a baby, I like actually playing with the clothes. And then that person grows up to be a fashion designer because they always were drawn to it. It was always like, I just always had a calling for it. I always liked that. I always wanted to be a nurse. I always wanted to be this. I always wanted to be that. It's like a sense of always wanting it. So, like I said, I feel like you always had that, but it doesn't mean that you developed that. I believe while you lived in that environment, that was not really, it wasn't conducive for you to, like, again, have your unfoldment process. But there's no mistakes, spirit says. You developed other skill sets that you'll utilize. So again, there's no mistakes. It's just, it didn't happen for you at that time when you were growing up with your parents, when you're growing up that time when children are usually finding themselves. It happened for you later. It's happening for you now. And that's because, again, times were different. Your parents, again, didn't think that you were worth investing in. Maybe grades weren't good. Again, whatever it was, but you were led by your own intuition. And that is what gave you hope. But Spirit said, but it didn't give you discipline. You're someone that was like, intuitive. It's like, and a lot of intuitives have ADHD. A lot of intuitives have trouble staying like focused. It's the other part of the brain. So Spirit said, yeah, so you did what you needed to do to survive. Meaning you went to school and you got good grades, and you helped your family out, even though the family was imbalanced, and you probably gave a little bit too much to certain people in your life. Because of that, you continued that pattern of overgiving and being there and not expecting anything much back, because hey, you had to protect the secrets, you protected, so you just became the fixer, the doer, and didn't really expect anything back. Where Spirit says that you had to do that to survive, but that's still against spiritual law. It's going to manifest in relationships later. And now you haven't created who you are. Where's your soul's path? What are you doing? And so Spirit said, this person pushed you into disciplining yourself. They disciplined you because, again, they weren't giving you anything. You actually had to detach from them, because it's not that you didn't have feelings for them. You had as much feelings for them as they have for you. It's just you hold to a certain standard, and this person wasn't willing to feed the connection. They held back from you the entire time. So again, discipline. And so it's like also learn to use your voice, where I feel at one point, if you were brought up again in that environment that was, full of secrets, and, it was chaotic, well, it would be like you were taught not to speak. Well, it's just easier not to say anything, because it's just going to be one more thing. So again, your needs were not met. So on a subconscious level, that experience is what imprinted on your subconscious mind. That energy is what you're holding, because the experience is is what has, like I said, imprinted on your mind. So you're giving that out. So without changing what you were doing, you would never transmute the energy ever, because this is, again, you were brought up in an environment that was chaotic. This person's chaotic. Again, they're full of lies and secrecy. That's what it is. And what it is too is that this person doesn't have what it takes to change. Remember that. So if you go back, the karma is on you. I'm not even going to pull for you people that would go back to this person, because I don't predict the future, but I will advise you. And that is just a person that, why would you want to recreate that type of experience? Spirit says no. That's completely out of alignment. And understand, this person seems to be coming in right before things are happening for you. Do you notice that? And there's someone that's also like a little controlling. You don't think that that would be sabotaging? But it would be, again, well, I'm going to help out the environment just like I did when I was growing up. I'm going to be the fixer. I'm going to be, Spirit saying, did you learn? Did you learn? Or are you going to do something different this time? It's like, because if you don't learn, you'll stay angry. And that anger of, well, this is what it was. And Spirit says that was what it was because that's what they had to work with. That you are more evolved. You handle it differently. When you handle it differently, there's always a spiritual way, a new opening, Spirit says. Again, this is the advice. A new opening, meaning leave that behind. When one door closes, be confident that another will open. Because again, the universe does that. And didn't I tell you that? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. It's not up to you how you manifest what you want to manifest. It's just up to you to put out the energy the best way that you know how. And Spirit's saying is, be confident. And it will be for your betterment. Meaning, even though it didn't work out, so what? It didn't work out. The next door, the next person that comes into your life is going to be better. That's what Spirit's saying. Accept that life brings challenges and acknowledge the opportunities and learning they present to you. Serenity comes from within. And you know that, and that's what you did. I got to take a drink. I'm going to cough. Sorry about that. I was going to have a coughing fit. If I didn't, I felt like my getting that tickle. Hey, zombie Molly. So that's what Spirit's saying. It's like, this was a test. As one door closes, another door opens. Spirit says, no, the next person that comes into your life is going to be better for you, that this person's not better for you. This would have kept you bound to that childhood trauma of, keep it, playing it small. I can't say anything. It's chaotic. It's crazy. Spirit says, no. Serenity comes from within. However, you want to create the environment that mirrors back what you want to become, the energy that you want. So having someone in your life that is like that, it's again, no. So Spirit says it just happened because there were fragmented parts of you that were still holding on to that experience, but you passed the spiritual test because, hey, you said, no, I'm not going to be in this. I'm going to stay here creating. And that's why this person has so much anxiety. They lost control. They lost control of you. So now they're obsessing and thinking that they're madly in love, but they haven't done any work. This is why I'm saying this is a no. Okay, so let me read some of these. It's a lifetime of creating positive karma to get better shot at manifesting in our next life. I'm pondering all of this. Yes, it's about embodying that. It's about embodying what you love. And so that will allow you to connect to people. And, that gives you an opportunity to create good karma and bad karma. And if someone has hurt you, then you can then say, then you can let them, forgive. It's easier to forgive. You know why? Because you're not looking at the person as if they did something to you. They didn't do anything to you. They didn't ruin your job. They didn't ruin anything. Understand, it says in scripture, no one can take what's yours. We wind up giving up what's ours because we feel bad for a person, or because we're too absorbed in somebody else's bullshit, or we're caught up in drama that we missed our opportunity, or we don't trust ourselves. We don't have the confidence to go after it. but no one can take what's yours. And I just see, again, this person coming into your life, it's again, that would be almost like forfeiting what's yours, because again, that this person has not proven themselves. They've already shown you who they are, and they're not just going to change. People are creatures of habit. Like I said, this person's wild at heart. They need to be free. They're always going to feel trapped, and you're always going to feel unstable in a connection like that because they're too impulsive. It's what they feel. It's someone that it has a lot of addictions. That addiction, they need that serotonin kick, you know, every other second. So that's either they're going to run around with people, they're going to do what they want to do, and here it is. You get the prize, and that prize is, well, I like the focus to be on me because my life is a shit show, obviously. So somebody's got to, do it. And what I see is going on in your life is things are happening, and hey, I like that. So again, their ego is what is leading them, and that mind chatter too. It's again, they're up in their head. They're not in their heart. They're not. So, that's how we can do that. So yes, it's all creative process. Even if it's wrong, do it. Well, yeah, like I think it's what is, there's nothing wrong. You'll be redirected. So you may say, well, I wanted to be a teacher, but you don't know how to write, let's just say. And then spirit will bring you a podcast and say, well, now you're on the radio. It's like you can do what you love, but the universe will bring you what it sees is a better fit for you to help you get there. Meaning it's not a one size fits all. We're not all the same person. We all can't do the same exact thing to be able to, um, you know, to create. If you wanted to be a doctor, the way that the doctors study, everyone studies different. Okay, that's an example. You go to a chef, there's different chefs, they do everything different. What works for you is not going to work for me. So when you're on your path and you're living your bliss because you're doing what you love, and you're being led by your gut, your intuition, your inner knowing, the universe is conspiring to bring you the people, situations, and experiences. And as one door closes, another door opens. So you are trying, but sometimes the way that we try or the idea that we have is off. Like I had an idea, for instance, to do a $7.99 a month subscription on YouTube for coaching, but the problem with that is everybody like was coming on at different times, and I was on for like 8 hours at a time and trying to do that 2 days a week, like cut into everything. And spirit is like, you clearly didn't manage something correctly there. It was like and the way that you're trying to do it. So he actually brought me somebody again to help me organize my coaching so that, and then also broke it down for Patreon coaching, which is something that's a little bit, is a lot cheaper than individual coaching because it's more of a group thing. But it was like, I didn't have the organization, but I did try, but I was getting shitty results. And then it was a problem too, because sometimes I would have to cancel it because of clients. And so understand that spirit says mastery comes in doing. Most people are afraid to do it. And so you have to start where you are. You have to use what's in your environment to help you get there. Most people are not grounded. They're in their head trying to think of this is what happened. I don't know. Where instead of just doing what you love, because when you do what you love, you're in the intuitive mind, and in that quiet, in that place, you'll get the divine guidance. But people can't shut their mind off. Okay, so this is, how do I forgive someone who horrifically harmed you? They face no charges. They are not remorseful and are living their best life. Physically, I am recovering well, but the betrayal and emotion of it, it's very unfortunately, as much as you give to someone is as big as the whole will be. It's like, so that a lot of times is what hurts. So the number one, the way to get back at that person, like, or how to or forgive that person, I should say, is have a better life yourself. To have, that's number one most important thing, because you don't want to give anyone that satisfaction that they were able to ruin you. That's number one. They're not worth that. Number two, it's when you wind up making your life better, then you say is, that person didn't do anything to me. They taught me a lesson. And they taught me a lesson because I needed to learn that. I gave them too much. I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought that they were where I was. I thought I thought they were everything that I needed, everything that I wanted. They lied to me. And so understand, Spirit says that's their imbalance. And understand, it may look like they are living their best life from the outside. But what Spirit says is, when a person thinks that it's okay to cheat and to hurt somebody else, Spirit takes that as offense. That's the one thing in the Catholic religion that you can get a divorce for if a person cheats. Like, that's the one thing. And I'm not religious, but I just heard that actually the other day. I believe in having a relationship with God, again, which is the universe. I believe that by being in the highest of consciousness, but I don't believe in dogmatic practice. I don't believe in structured religion. I don't believe in anything like that. It's like, so understand, if you embody the energies of that unconditional love by finding what you love and doing what you love, a whole new world opens up for you. And that's how you forgive. You're not going to forgive before that. You can say that you forgive. People will say, oh, I forgive and I let it go. Yeah, I forgive and I let it go. Spirit says, the universe still says that that's not sufficient. And it's like, it's still not sufficient. You still owe half the bill, Spirit's saying. And you're like, what do you mean? It's like, it's over. Spirit says, oh, you didn't transmute the negative energy. You still owe us. It's like, I need to see a different embodiment. You need to see yourself differently. Then you can let it go. Otherwise, you can't let it go, because you see as if they did something to you, that they ruined you, that that now you feel defective, you're broken, that you can't trust people, you can't. It's all of it. It's like, this is why. It's not just what they did and the life that you promised me that we were going to have, and the reality that I thought I had. That's one where Spirit says that reality wouldn't have been as good as what you fantasized, just to know that, because you saw by this person's character that it wouldn't be. That was an illusion. That's what you wanted. So understand, you can get it. There's a sense of, and now I feel like I can't get it, because now I keep dating like people that I'm afraid of narcissists. I don't trust them. And Spirit says, yeah, that's because the focus, you're too hyper focused on that. It's like going and looking at a piece of artwork. You gotta take a few steps back. It's like, you have to, again, create yourself. You got a whole pizza pie here, and you're going to give whoever into your life half the pizza, the whole pizza? No, no, no. They get a half a slice. They don't even get a full slice. They have to earn that. And it's not by saying, hey, you got to earn it. There's no words. Do not say any words. It's that you're invested in your life, that you're having a love affair in your life. So if someone comes in with the crackers, I'm over here eating filet mignon, and you're coming in here with the crackers. I don't want crackers. It's like, they're not going to be that stupid to come in with crackers. They're going to say, oh, that one's eating filet mignon. That's out of my league. Or, you know what? I like that person. I believe I can have filet mignon too. And it makes a person step into the best version of themselves. That's what unconditional love does. But you're not telling anyone anything. It's like, if you're not showing me, well, you'll be replaced. That's the vibe, because I'm very invested in my life. There's a lot of people that come in and out of my life. This person didn't do anything. They didn't affect your life aside from, hey, I trusted you. I believed in you. I loved you. And Spirit said, you believed in them more than they believed in themselves. It's like you don't see that now because, again, the facade that their life is better. But they didn't learn from this relationship. So, how much better can it possibly be? Maybe because that person that they're with has more resources, has a little bit more, be a little bit more self-servient, like be submissive to them, so it works out a little bit longer, but it's imbalanced and you wouldn't have wanted that. So it's all about creating yourself, embodying that energy of unconditional love. We got to say, you know what? You didn't do anything. You didn't do nothing to me. It's like, I don't give you that. It's like, I did it to myself. I actually thought you a lot better. You're not worth the dirt on my shoe. It's like, because character, it's like you hold to a certain standard. And when you hold to a certain standard, you're going to deal with a lot of people that try to resist that if you have a lot of trauma. It's just the universe's way of saying, I want to see whether you pass this test. Are you looking at yourself the way I made you? Or are you looking at yourself like through that funhouse mirror again? Like that it's all just weird looking about how you're judging yourself. Let's see. Let's bring in this person. It's like, and you're like, well, I brought this very low vibrational person into my life. Spirit says, well, there is a past life connection here. It's like, but as you evolve more, there won't really be a connection. You'll be able to break that karmic cord because, like I said, a whole new world opens up for you. So my recommendation for everyone is, I always say, you gotta train your brain, and you can train your brain by doing the Silva Ultra Mind Method, the ESP Ultra Mind, and you can download that on Audible if you have it, because that will teach you to get into that ESP, the ESP realm. So you're always connected to the higher self. Train yourself what it feels like to get that intuitive guidance. Remember, God is not something that's outside of you. It's inside of you. And it's inside of you so that it protects you, so that you always have discernment. That's a gift that we all have. So you can discern who and what is best for you. But you can't do it unless you balance yourself. So I always say, if you feel that, no, I have anxiety, I have this, then you know that you have to train your body and mind. So there's a lot of different healing modalities that we do in my coaching program, and as well as you can get right online that can help you. All right. If that's all the questions that there are, I'm going to go. God, this hair looks horrible. It looks like my forehead is like 1,000 miles long. Like it starts off, it's like trying to fit in the gym and fit in everything and still look glamorous is not an easy thing. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.